All right, we have 68 people watching. I wish we had one more because we need 69 people to talk about this final topic. This is what I've been waiting for an hour and 20 minutes. Let me set it up this way. Tuesday morning or Tuesday night or Tuesday evening, I get a notification from none other than Kris Patel. Uploaded a new video. I'm like, hey, let's go see what video my brother uploaded. Video title: I found the Palantir competitor, Cathie, what it's talking about. I didn't watch it because I didn't have time with them. I was like, whatever. An hour later, 1.4 thousand views. I'm like, I love Kris, but he's not getting 1.4 thousand in an hour. That's not Kris's channel at this moment. So I'm like, people must really be interested in this little title that Kris put this video up for. I still can't watch the video because I was at work on Tuesday. I didn't get home until 9:30. Next thing you know, I get home. I do a live stream, late night stock talks around 10 o'clock at night. And I just have a ton of comments in this live stream. There's like 30 people saying, hey, did you see Kris's video? Kris's video, Kris's video, Kris's video. I'm like, all right, let's watch it live. I go and I load up Kris's video, and there's a company called DataWalk. And DataWalk has established a white paper on their website that says they are the Palantir alternative. They can do 75% of what Palantir, or 100% of what Palantir can do for 75% of the cost. And Kris basically does a reaction to them, and the subreddits start talking. My Discord starts talking. Everyone, my YouTube comments, they're like, hey, Amit, you got to do a reaction to this DataWalk. So let's start off with you, Kris, before we get to Sachin. What inspired you to make this video? How did you come across DataWalk? And why do you believe DataWalk will run all over Palantir?
Well, first of all, I don't believe DataWalk is going to run all over Palantir. So let's just get that out of the way first. One thing I realized is that I've never seen a company so publicly, like their entire messaging come out that we're an alternative to another company, right? So they're ankle biting. They're basically living off of that. So I was like, okay, let me take a look. Let me see what it looks like. Let me look at some of the stuff. And what I noticed was a lot of the UI looked very similar to what Gotham looked like. And then I looked at it and I was like, wow, IBM i2, they actually do. IBM, by the way, sold their i2 notebook. But they're also, that was the other thing too. So a lot of the products that they were making looked very similar. Now, I know some of the comments that we got were hilarious. That this looks like the Wish version of Palantir Gotham, which is absolutely right. But
bro, the video was so bad. It didn't even have good music underneath it.
Well, either way, one of the things I do want to highlight that there are use cases for these little guys. Okay, there's to completely say that Palantir is 100% the best thing in the world. No one ever needs anything else. Trust me, these guys will find a use case. Being a small company does not automatically make you like worthless, especially if you. And then what really interested me about these guys, it was that they actually have some partnerships with some federal agencies. It wasn't just like, oh my God, they're just saying stuff. There's actually a few people that they've convinced that they are a Palantir alternative. And from a pricing standpoint, hey, look, if the government can do something 75% cheaper and get the same results, why not try? So I was like, okay, let me look this up. And like I said, they call themselves the Palantir alternative. I wouldn't necessarily call them that. But like I said, the product looks okay to me. But maybe some other people can chime in. Let's see what you guys think. Go ahead, Sachin.
So I came to know about DataWalk last year, okay, and I have mentioned this several times. Like there have been several companies that have come across as like a cheap Palantir version. Okay, I never specifically said the name. See, this company has 2 patents that were granted in 2030. 2. That's it, guys. Okay, the evaluation is. I mean, I was checking, and I cannot show you my official PitchBook account, but I mean, if you go and if you have access to PitchBook, you can see what is their revenue look like, how many. They have 12 documents, and out of this, 10 were like papers. Okay, they have only 2 patents that has been granted to them. Okay, Palantir gets 5-6 patents. I mean, every a week. Okay,
they got 6 on March 8th that I couldn't make a video on because there was so many videos.
So they have raised capital, I think less than $25 million until now. They do not have if you see IL1, IL2, IL6. I mean, they are not IL5. Okay, So they are nobody. Okay, they are literally nobody. When a company comes to me and say that, oh, yeah, we are a version of this, these are the companies I remove very early from my filtering process. And so, yeah, I mean, they have got some contact, but guys, they are nobody. Okay, and the reason they are trying to sell like as a Palantir, because you need to create you remember this guy like Dan O'Dood who was saying he published a page about FSD against FSD. The guy had literally like less than 100 Twitter follower, and now he's spitting negative news about FSD every day. He has like 20,000 viewers. So we all know like negative publicity is also publicity. Anyone who is using DataWalk and expecting to use it. So, I mean, I would, you'll be surprised what I'm going to say next. I would take Esri data ontology platform as a better competition for Palantir geospatial data ontology platform than I will take DataWalk. So, guys, in my opinion, yeah, I'm not losing my sleep over DataWalk. I mean, there are a lot of other companies I would like to lose my sleep. I mean, I see, I like Cognite, I like Harness, I like Dataiku, okay, I like Databricks, okay. These are the companies I would say that yes, they will compete in certain aspects of it, but DataWalk, no, it's not happening.
You know what happened when Kris made this video? My initial thought was like, all right, we're all kind of stressed out around the stock price. We all down. Sachin's probably down like 9,000 figures, given his portfolio. Kris is probably down 6
Not
figures.
that much.
I'm down 5 figures. So I'm like, you know what? And Cathie saw like, I don't care what anyone says. It's annoying when someone liquidates 30 million shares for whatever reason they did. But the reason was there's a private government competitor. So when Kris found the answer, all of us were like, maybe he's right. And I wasn't losing too much sleep over it either, but I was thinking about it because it's like kind of annoying. It's like, what if there is this private little competitor that's stealing all the governmental deals? And then you look into context of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and you look at this CARP shareholder letter, and you're like, is DataWalk going to be the infrastructure of the protecting Western values? Because it has to be to get the governmental contracts, right? Like outside of the contracts with the like small IT departments in the government, like the overall big government $56 billion TAM, you've got to be that Western value freedom defender. And I don't think DataWalk's probably.
I just wanted to let you guys know they signed a contract recently with the Department of Agriculture. They're growing stuff. Okay. Don't deny DataWalk. DataWalk is coming for all of y'all.
No, I think Kris made a very good point. I think this is where I think we have to give a right.
You can go back to our faces now. Go back to our faces.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the reasons that I think Kris made a very good observation is that why people are even talking about DataWalk, because people do not know about Palantir. See, how many people can actually explain what Palantir does? So this is what these companies does. They go, oh, why you are going to Palantir if I can? Anybody who is going to Palantir and negotiating cost, doesn't know what Palantir is. Okay, for example, if you go to Palantir says, oh, we will get 5 million, we will pay 5 million and we'll create 100 million value for you. Now, if you are really negotiating, you will say, I am ready to spend 6 million, but show me the value above 200 million. That is how you are going to negotiate with Palantir. Okay, if you are going to negotiate, 5 million, can you do it 4.75? Yeah, you are already in the wrong. Your data strategy is already failed. Okay, you are going to create value in uncharted territories. Okay, CEOs, CDOs, a lot of these people are building use cases based on benchmarking and what others are doing. We have not yet started the era of edge computing. Okay, we even don't know what values that can be created by that. We are not into the world of autonomous vehicle. Okay, we saw how fast SpaceX acted in the case of Ukraine, and how, we are not in that world yet where, the data and the technology is going to go, it's going to be so rapidly interconnected with each other. So anyone saying that we understand what's the use case are going to be for next 20 years, no, nobody knows about that. So
you know how Palantir says they're at the edge. DataWalk is also at the edge, but they fell off. They're just like falling down while Palantir's at the edge.
Yeah. So, like for example, I think this is what. So, I have a friend. He is running an IoT company in energy. So, CEO came from same college as me, IIT, and I was talking to him, and we were having discussing about the different IoT edge case implementation. Guys, remind me, I have another thing to share after this as well on Palantir. So, what happened when I was talking to this guy, and he was saying that the biggest challenge we have on the in the edge is that we cannot push large enough models because the bandwidth is not there. So when they were trying to explore the SpaceX, and they said with the 5G and the SpaceX, we literally do not need. So the idea initially was that you need a lot of data to train and build AI models. But guys, if you have a good enough AI model, you don't need to train that much afterwards. Okay, data beyond a point is going to be redundant. I mean, if the access is too much. So what do you need? You need these models sitting on the AI world where they fine tune based on the data is there for that particular context, and they keep on implementing. And there is a feedback loop, which is a longer time feedback loop that can come back to the enterprise cloud later on. So the whole idea of edge AI, how does it exist today versus what Apollo is trying? It's very different. I mean, what do you think? Like, you see the case of Dojo, what Tesla does. I mean, they train, but Dojo is not sitting in Tesla. Dojo trains a model that goes to Tesla, and Tesla car is an edge case now for it. Okay, then whenever we update the FSD models and all that, I mean, like, what is happening? The model that is sitting, the edge model that is sitting in the Tesla is being updated. Okay, but now every time Tesla is moving, decision is not taken by Dojo. I mean, decision is taken on the car itself. So the edge computing is going to be very different from how it is interpreted today. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Kris, go ahead.
So the Lord of the Rings, who would DataWalk be in the Lord of the Rings?
I still haven't watched it yet. I gotta watch it.
You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
How long is it?
Nobody.
Dude,
you have to watch
long.
it.
Yeah, you have to watch like the how do I? Should he watch The Hobbit first? Should he watch The Hobbit first?
There's like a trilogy, right?
No. He has to start it. He has to start with the original.
Yeah, you got to start with the original.
Kris, I need to come to your apartment one day. We need to have a movie night. We good?
Let's come through, bro. Come through. Yeah. So I was just gonna say one last thing. I was gonna say one last thing before I let you guys do it. The next shareholder meeting on say.com, I'm asking Alex Karp, are you afraid of DataWalk? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Imagine they could
Dude, it can't be as ridiculous as, are you still worried about share-based compensation? So come on. I'm gonna ask about DataWalk. DataWalk is my number one question. Let's get it there, guys. Let's get DataWalk trending. Number one.
First of all, Coach Rep, I remember Radio Shack as well. I think all of us here, definitely. You don't have to be old. I'm 24. I remember Radio Shack. I remember going to Radio Shack. But yeah, I mean, DataWalk, like, again, I on my live stream, I pulled up the video and I was watching Kris react to it. I couldn't get through 2 minutes of it because my live stream got so boring. I was like, what is this? What are we watching? Like, even the music is like elevator music to explain comprehensive AI data analytics. At least on Gotham, you have this mysterious, like, how Palantir loads up their logo. It's like, there's like digital stuff. It's like, what the hell is DataWalk? It's like,
dude, DataWalk is Gollum. Just thank you for someone. That is perfect. My precious.
All right, Sachin, what is this new thing you have to show us?
So when Amit was saying that he remembers Radio Shack, so I need to tell you, like, when I was growing up and I was watching these Hollywood movies, I used to dream that one day I will go to Radio Shack. So I come from a different age than Amit comes from. So
wait, Amit, do you know what Radio Shack is?
Yes, they sold like electronics and batteries and headphones. I used to go into it. There was one next to a shop right near my house. I mean, it's closed now. It closed like 10 years ago, but I remember that place.
Yeah.
So what was happening was last week was, I think, nobody talked about it because nobody knew about it. That also the SERA week was happening in US and all the energy companies were there. And yeah, I mean, Palantir had their own event there as well. I think some of my buddies ended up talking to Palantir, saw their event. I think the reaction was very positive. So I was very happy to see actually Palantir taking active participation in meeting clients directly in a lot of these events. I mean, that's how it has to be. I mean, they need people on ground, and Palantir head of energy was there, and a lot of team was there. So yeah, it's so like I said, they need to have their presence felt. So I think it is going in right direction from that part. Okay, back to you guys.
I think Palantir, right now, energy is starting to really come as a big topic of concern for a lot of companies. A lot of companies are trying to figure out ways to become more energy efficient. So, to mitigate some of the fallout from all these energy price rises. I hope that person that they hired really capitalizes and gets into a lot of doors right now, because I think Palantir right now has a golden opportunity, because energy is making a resurgence, especially because of everything happening. There's a lot of reshoring happening with capacity that's coming probably from the U.S. now, as opposed to the Russians. So any spare capacity is well worth figuring out. So right now, all that stuff is just sitting in data. Is there ways that we can figure out how to optimize our production, optimize our transportation, optimize logistics, so that we can, be energy independent? So hopefully Palantir is working on that with a lot of energy majors.